God go to go be your friend. I tell the Lord go be your friend. I tell the God go be your friend. Amen. Amen. Olúmọ̀lú go be your God. I just might go be my God.
Good evening, everyone. Wow! It's great to be back here on the Connect, another Sunday evening, and I'm glad to be back. All right? So I'm just going to let the music play for a bit, just wait for folks to start coming in. It's great to be here. It's truly, truly great to be here. Opening song by Timmy Dakolo. Profound words and prayer song. And you know what's prayer? I'm already excited. So, if you dey forward to your home, God said go to his home, and flesh go cover home. Amen. Amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. 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 Everything you put your hand over, you never open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand over, you never open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Sister, where one man sees until where they tell you. One day you go notice. Amen. Amen. Then that way I'm losing job. One love come with you like God. One day you go be one love. Amen. Amen. Good news go locate you. What you see in your day. If you believe it, say amen. 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 Everything you put your hand go up. You make the open doors. You self to be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go up. You make the open doors. You self to be a boss. Amen. Amen. Long life go follow you, strangers go favor you, great men go honor you. Amen. Amen. One day you go sign the check for you said go drive that pencil. This life goes to make sense. Amen. 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 Your children go make you proud. Bad people never pull you down. One day you go run this town. Amen. Amen. You said go straight in the beat. The people call you. Wow. You said go rest the party. Amen. Amen. God go to go be your friend. I tell the Lord go be your friend. I tell the God go be your God. Amen. 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 You go be your God. Amen. Somebody go be my God. Amen. Love you go be my God. Amen. 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 Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's another Sunday evening. I'm extremely delighted and extremely glad to be here. There's a heavy downpour going on right now. The heavens are open and showers of blessing coming down. So, permit the background noise if you can hear it. And just lock your mind in on the show tonight. It's another episode of Connect. I am back from the August break, right? And so immediately we had our anniversary episode. We started the throwback series, which lasted for mostly the greater part of August, and we had throwback to episodes from August 2020. An amazing one. I remember one of the things I remember about those episodes was there was a particular episode with Nancy Ogwe and an infant child. And Nancy sent me a message to say, wow, she was watching herself and she was blessed. She was blessed. And all those episodes that I watched, I mean, I was really, really blessed. If you were able to catch any of the throwback series, just type in the comment section. If you're joining us on Facebook or you're joining us on LinkedIn, just type in the comment section and let me know the episode that you caught in the throwback series and how it impacted upon you. Come on, so just go to the chat section. I will receive your chats right here. Just tell me which of the episodes you saw in August in the throwback series, and you know how it impacted you. Something that you took away. There was, I mean, one thing, two things, three things, whatever that you took away from that episode, and let's just share with us. It was an amazing time. I mean, I was, even though I was on August break and I was resting, I was refreshed to just, just relax and watch episodes in, Sunday out. And if I was blessed, I can imagine how much you were blessed as well. So it's great to be here. It's another Sunday evening, and yes, we're back. So this is year two, the beginning of year two of the Connect that will be running. And we intend, I promise you, one thing I want to promise you is that this episode, this next one year of Connect will be significantly better than the first year. I mean, because everything that God blesses and everything that God reads on top gets better. All right, it gets better and better and better. And so my commitment to you is that I'm going to be here Sunday in, Sunday out, simply just bringing my best to the screen. I've had a whirlwind of the weekend. Was meant to have been, so many things that should have happened but did not happen. But rather than let them get me down, I'm here. I'm here, and I am glad to be here. Okay, so I was just having a conversation with my guest for today, Mr. Usain James, and we're trying to sort out his network from his end. We had the test run yesterday, and then we had a bit of engagement and interaction just a few minutes ago before I came live. And we're hoping that he will join us shortly. All right, we're hoping he'll join us shortly. So shouts out to everybody who is here. If you're here on Facebook, let me go to the chat section. Uh, do send me a chat. Let me see let me see what you got. Drop a chat for me on Facebook. I'm also going to be monitoring from my own devices here. Um, Send me a chat on Facebook right now, a comment rather, and then I will. All right. Okay, I can see back to episodes. Okay, so there we go. So, all right. So send me a comment. Send me a chat. Okay, so we've got stuff. All right. Okay. So seems like there's a bit of um connection challenge with our Facebook. But I see the charts here. William Awana, thank you for joining us. Akofre, thank you so much. Stephanie, thank you. Vaughn, thank you for joining in early. All right, so we're gonna get it. And by the way, guys, it feels good to be live. It feels good to be back. I mean, the throwbacks were cool, but isn't it just cool when A is in the studio with you, when I'm connecting with you on a Sunday evening such as this? So it's just amazing to be here. All right. This this series that we're starting today will run for a few Sundays, about 3 or 4 Sundays. We're going to be focusing on performance. And so we talked in the performance series. The performance series. All right. And the way it's going to run is we're going to be looking at performance in diverse areas of life. So we'll be looking at performance personally as an entity. We'll be looking at performance as a business unit. We'll be looking at performance in terms of relationships. We'll be looking at performance in terms of spirituality. All right. So we'll be looking at performance and take it again. We'll be looking at performance individually, personally, your personal development and all that pertains to it. You'll be looking at performance with regards to business growth, business development, business. and all of everything that has to do with the business entity. And then we'll be looking at performance spiritually, your spiritual growth for church, versus spirituality, and all of that. And one thing that I can guarantee you, because there's nothing that I bring up that is not something that has been carefully thought through and carefully prayed on and prayed about. So the fact that we have a topic that is out here means that it's something that has been carefully prayed about. I was a bit concerned about how we'll be able to be in the studio, because I said there was something I was meant to be doing today that could have kept me away from the studio today, but well, God knows best. And so I leave everything to God, and I thank Him in spite of everything. So we're expecting our guests to join us shortly, but let me just give an opener, all right? And then when our guest comes, he can begin to fill in his own perspective of the subject matter, and then thereafter we can take questions and call it a day. And so we're talking about performance, and performance really is being able to, if I was loosely define it, it will be being able to perform, and to perform means that being able to get something done, to achieve, to put together action steps that aim culminate in a result, in an outcome, which is your desired objective. In other words, if you wanted to get to from point A to point B, your performance, if your goal was to get from point A to point B, your performance will be measured by how far you have gone in terms of everything that's available to you from point A to point B. So performance is something that requires, number one, scalability, that requires measurement, that requires an assessment, and requires evaluation. It's very important. And so when we speak to performance, performance simply means how well are you doing in terms of getting the job done. How well are you doing? Now, I don't want to get it too technical, but I want you to be able to understand this, because I need you to take this subject matter and apply it to just about every bit of your life, so that not necessarily to condemn you, so you can have a shifting perspective which will make and allow for greater performance. Can I tell you a secret? I am interested in seeing you becoming a high performer. And a high performer is someone who, regardless of whatever is available to him, is able to get the job done. A high performer is someone who consistently does way above the average. He doesn't deliver threshold outputs. He delivers differentiating outputs. A performer is someone that has differentiating competency. Differentiating competencies. A performer is someone that comes to the table, and regardless of what is on the table, he makes sure that he leaves with exactly what he came for. So, are you a performer? And the way that we're going to be looking at this discourse over the next few Sundays will be um, along three major areas. And those three areas are what I would like to discuss. My different guests that will come in will have different areas that, different perspectives to what they want to discuss. So I'm going to be looking at areas of three areas of concentration. And my three areas of concentration, all right, that make for good performance, that make for what I call a seven star performance. Uh, Let me see if I can share that on the screen with you. All right, so there you are, three areas of consideration, and that's what I'm going to spend some time talking about. The first is knowledge, the second is confidence, and the third is communication. Now, I could break this down to 20 areas. I could break this down to 10 areas. But I just want to have this umbrella of three, and then I will talk around them, and then we'll see where we go from there. So let's look at the first one, which is knowledge. Knowledge is what you know, or let me put it like this: what you know determines your state. Now, people will say, well, what you know is not. Yeah, I agree. What you do with what you know is something else. We'll get that. But can you even start with knowing? Your knowledge, your ability, your knowing of a thing, or your knowing of how to do a thing is what separates you from everybody else that has shown up. Your knowing the way to go will get you to your destination efficiently, way more than somebody that does not know how to go or which way to go to the city. Your knowing of how to apply a principle will get you a result significantly faster than somebody who has know how, who does not know how to apply a principle, and so and as thus does not get a result. Your knowledge and what you know is extremely essential to your well being and to the level or status of your performance. So, a question I will ask at this point, without getting ahead of myself, is what do you know? In some regards, the what do you know could also stretch to who do you know? So, your knowledge also includes your network. Ah, okay. So, we're turning things around a bit this evening. What you know also translates to who you know. What you know also translates to how you know. What do you know? Who do you know? What do you know to do? And what do you know not to do? So, knowledge is something that you constantly have to seek. Because if what you know is correlated to your output in a certain to a certain degree, then you have no business. Hear me now. You have no business not knowing. It means that you must know. You must know pertaining and your knowledge here is critical. I know that they say that no, if no knowledge is lost, but what you know with regards to, hear me now, your assignment, what you know with regards to your assignment is critical to how you execute that assignment. Hmm. I say it again. What you know with regards to your assignment is critical to how you execute your assignment. So you've got to seek for knowledge. You have to do all that you can to to get as much information pertaining to your assignment as possible. So you're on a job or whatever it is that you're doing on your desk. How much do you know about the job that you supposedly earn money for? How much do you know about the industry that you're in? How much do you know about the competition that have to do with what you do? How much do you know about the stakeholders and the people that can influence or are influenced by what you do? How much do you know? Your failure to know will rob you of the ability to become a high performer. And so if you don't know and you think, okay, it's okay to know, you know when they say knowledge is bliss, it's a lie. Sorry, the lack of knowledge is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. It's a lie. It's a big lie from the pits of hell and every other thing around the pits of hell. It's a big lie. The Bible says that God's own people will perish for lack of knowledge. My people, that means that they are the ones that have been chosen by God. Woo! God's people will still perish because they don't know. Knowledge is the foundation of your greatness. The difference between the great and the mediocre is in what they know. And before you think what they know is just information, no, it's also in the skills they have, which is a knowledge of how to deploy something to get a result. It's also in who they know. In other words, how they're able to connect with their destiny helpers and godly butlers and the people that God has sent in their lives, and how they're able to relate with them in such a way that they don't abuse those relationships, but they service those relationships so much that those relationships yield to them the benefits that are contained there in those relationships. They know how to be courteous, they know how to be resourceful, knowledge, and they know how to apply information. They know how to take little things and be able to invest them so wisely that they become big things. Knowledge. So what you know separates you from those that don't know. The man that knows has a chance. I did not say has a guarantee. Hear me now. The man that knows has a chance to fulfill purpose. Because information is light. And when you have light, there's tendency to run faster. This is the way I always say it. Light, Matthew 5:14 says that you are the light of the world. Light is indicative of illumination. Illumination makes for clarity. Where you have clarity, you can move faster, you can run quicker. You can also look and run in the right direction, because direction is never given from the back but given from the front. Light then speaks to leadership. In other words, what you know, which is the light that you have, makes you a leader. Makes you a leader. So light is synonymous with knowledge. So when the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge, in other words, you could juxtapose that to say my people perish because they are in darkness. And because they're in darkness, they can't see their way forward. The man that can't see his way forward has absolutely no hope, because he will misstep, he will fall into the wrong, he will fall into a pit, he will stumble and stagger, he will go up in the wrong direction, because he has not light to guide his feet. And when his feet are not guided, he has no direction and does not know which way to go. The Bible says that the man that does not know his way to the city, he is weary. And so you're walking in the lack of light. You're walking in darkness. Tires you and wears you out. He that is tired and worn out can hardly perform at his optimal. And so if you can't perform at your optimal, you're not a seven-star performer. Can I go further? So light, therefore, which, as I said earlier, is synonymous with information, is key to your greatness. Is key to your greatness. So knowledge is essential. Get knowledge, get information. Build your capacity, especially in the area of your greatness. One of my mentors and my beloved big brother that everybody knows, Fela Droje, will say that, look, when you work hard at something that you're not naturally good at or naturally gifted at, chances are that you will become good at it because you will have improved. But when you work hard at something that you're not naturally gifted at, you will become great at it. Greatness is what distinguishes you from the ordinary to the performer. Greatness. So, what do you know? What do you know? You have to know enough to know what to do. And not just know enough to know what to do, you also have to know enough to know what not to do. Because it's I say it this way, you have to know enough to practice. And you don't only practice to know to get it right, you also practice so that you can't get it wrong. So if you look at it this way, it's not just enough for you to know what to do. You also have to know what not to do. Which is why I say in every situation you must learn. Learning is the accumulation. Learning is the acquiring of knowledge. You must learn in every situation what to do and what not to do. That's food for thought. Think about that. Write that down somewhere. Think about it. So, what do you know? What What do you know pertaining to your assignment? What do you know pertaining to your your everything that you have been given on the job, in your industry? What figures can you reel off your head? What do you know about the things that affect what you do? What do you know about the policies that guide the operations of your organization or the operations of your being, the operations of yourself? What do you know about everything and anything that affects you? What do you know about your stakeholders? Consideration of what you know and the application of what you know. Note that the consideration of what you know, meaning that you take it, you evaluate it, you sort it out, you create a plan and build a strategy, and the evaluation of what you know is what releases you to perform based on the outcome of those considerations and evaluation of what you know. When you don't know, then performance is far from you. High performance, good performance, that is. So what do you know? You've got to be able to pay attention to the things. I mean, that's it. Too many people move around and don't pay attention. I have seen people who are in the banking sector and don't know much about what's going on at the CBN. I've seen people who are in the healthcare financing sector and don't know what's going on with NHIS. I've seen people who are in manufacturing and don't know anything about what policies affect what they do. You will only be mediocre at best. Because everything around you serves you. The information that is out there is supposed to be resource that you take and apply to what you do so that you can generate for yourself an advantage. So if you do not know, folks, if you don't know, how can you have an advantage? Now, isn't it especially painful that you are the one by your lack of knowledge or your lack of information or your lack of ability to utilize what's available to you, that you are the one creating a disadvantage for yourself? Every platform that I go to, every time I'm privileged, and for me, it's a privilege to always be able to share with people. It's a privilege to be able to grace any platform, any training, anything. It's a privilege. 14 years of counseling is a privilege. Every time I am privileged and honored to share something with people, I tell them pay attention. This is one of the first things I say. For those of you that can testify, every time I come to a place, I say, I hope to God that I'm not coming here to tell you something that you have never heard. In other words, I hope to God that I'm not coming here to give you fresh information. I never want to give fresh information because my giving you fresh information already tells me how disadvantaged I am. But I hope to God that I really just came to share with you what you know but have not paid attention to. Because everything is round about you. The information that you have is round about you. The industries, the hubs. But in this time and age, ignorance is worse than cancer, is worse than coronavirus, is worse than any deadly ailment that can be all combined. Your lack of knowledge is a sure way to your peril. Little wonder, God said, my people, regardless of the fact that they are my people, because they lack knowledge, they will perish. What do you know? What do you know? Knowledge is key. Knowledge is essential to your being able to perform at any level of significance. The second area of consideration that I want us to look at this Sunday evening as we open up the performance series. It's confidence. If you can take any of these three areas that I'm going to talk about today, as I've already started talking about them, and you give critical attention to them, you will be able to perform remarkably. Write that down. I said it. Yes. Try and test it. You have enough knowledge, you build enough knowledge, you utilize your knowledge that will sort you out to a certain degree. For you to be able to carry the knowledge, to build the mindset that will take your knowledge from the warmth of your brain to the terrains of reality, you need everything that is embedded in confidence. And confidence is your persuasion, your self-persuasion that you have the adequacy to perform a task. It's one thing for you to have the knowledge, the purpose and knowledge to be able to deliver on an assignment. It's something else for you to believe enough that yes, you can. So notice that I didn't bring confidence first before I talked about knowledge. No, 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 sir, no, sir. Because you must first have content before you can be confident about the content that you have and what that content can do. Wow. So you believe in yourself. So when you talk of self of confidence, you're looking at self-awareness, you're looking at positive mindset, you're looking at faith, you're looking at the self-persuasion, believing enough in yourself so that even if something goes wrong along the way, you understand that you've done all that. Remember what God said to Joshua, that after you've done all that you should do, stand, rest. And I like that portion of scripture in Joshua, because what it says is that look, there is a work to be done. There is a gathering, there is a working with information to be done, there is a researching, a putting together, there is a capacity to be built, there is a skill to be acquired, there is a connection and a network to be garnered. And when you have done these things, you have the firm persuasion that what you have done, to a certain extent, all certain things being equal, and with God on your side, that it will deliver to you the outcome that you want. Anything short of that, you don't have confidence, you're simply arrogant and foolish. You're simply arrogant and foolish. You must have done the work. That's why I say to people that in life, the process of your journey is what validates you and gives you the confidence to keep going. When you're not part of the process, then you will not generate the kind of self awareness or the kind of self persuasion that is required for you to continue the journey. The steps I have taken so far is what makes me believe that I will get to the end of my journey. In other words, you have like snippets and examples and certain things that you see that help you now believe, help you now come to the back to the place where you know that look, you have what it takes to get it done. Do you understand? The same way that your faith is built up, the same way that you say to yourself that you've seen God do too much now for you to let go and not believe that He will do the rest for you. That's the same kind of confidence that you have, knowing that with what you have passed through and with what you have gained and with what you have tested and with what you have researched, you have enough to be able to push on and to be able to execute what you have to execute. Confidence. 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 You must have that self-belief. Too many people, I met a lot of folks, I met a lot of people in my life, especially my corporate life, my working life, my career, that are gifted, they're talented, they're smart, they carry solutions, but lack the charisma or lack the confidence to be able to even project the solutions that they have. They don't even believe that they are the ones to deliver this. I was saying one time, remember how God will give you an assignment, but because you don't have confidence in yourself, you say to God that, God, I know you're sovereign, I know you're the good God, but this one time, I don't think you got it right. I don't think you got it right. I'm not the man for the job. Go back to the Bible. Think of how many people went back to God to say, perhaps I'm not the one for the job. Perhaps I'm not the one. How shall these things be? For I stutter. Remember Moses. Remember Moses. And so what you do is you begin to, oh my goodness, you begin to focus on all the things that will stop you from delivering on your assignment when God has given you the key to focus on all the things that will give you the kind of differentiating competencies that will bring you to delivering your assignment. You need a mental shift. Be confident in the fact that what you have learned, if you have truly put in the work to learn, is enough to deliver outcomes to you. So it's not just, if you've listened to me for a while, then you understand that this is not just a feel good, oh, I'm confident, I wake up in the morning. Yes, affirmations are good. I say them every morning. Yes, you must be able to speak to yourself. That's good. I support that entirely. But you don't say that hinged on nothing. You say that hinged on what you have done to prepare yourself for the assignment, for the journey. It's like getting into a car. You want to drive from Abuja to Lagos, and then you get into the car and you say, God, help us on this journey. Help us, Lord. Help us ensure that everything goes smoothly in this journey, on this journey. Let us get to Lagos in one piece. Amen. Whilst that may be a good prayer, let's scale back a bit. You got into the car, you didn't fuel the car, you didn't check the tires, you didn't service the engine, you didn't change the oil, you did absolutely nothing. And then what you're doing, you didn't put water in the radiator, and what you're doing is you're putting the key into the ignition, you said your prayer, and then you turn the ignition, and then you expect a miracle for the 7-8 hours of your drive from Abuja to Lagos. It doesn't work like that. Your confidence, your prayer in another scenario where you have fueled the car, you have done all that you should do. You fuel the car, you check the tires, you ensure that you're not traveling with bad tires, you ensure that everything that has to do with your trip is good, you ensure that the necessaries, the checklist have been met with, and you ensure that you're good to go, you're in the right frame of mind, you've had enough sleep, you have everything, you're sure that you have all of that in place. And then when you pray to God, you have the full persuasion that He will hold you and protect you, and then your journey will be smooth. That gives you the confidence. In the same way, you have no business being confident that you will deliver on your assignment when you haven't taken the time to acquire the prerequisite knowledge that will give you the advantage that will help you become a 7-star performer on the job or in any other area of your life that can be related to this or conceptualized to this. Confidence. I'm yet to see in the scope of my life, this 4 decades and years upon the face of the earth, that I have seen a 7-star performer who did not have a level or a degree of confidence. There is a level, listen, guys, there is a level, and I stand to be corrected. Well, I can only speak from my life's experience and the things that I have said. There is a level where you can get to shocked, surprised. There's a level where you get to where you're like, well, I didn't know we are going to do this. I agree. But you see, there's a level that you don't get past unless you believe in who you are and what you have and who you have. There's a level that you can get to without confidence. There's a level you can't get past without confidence. 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 It's essential. And that brings me to the third. My third, like I said, is not exhaustive. I could do 20, but for today, I will take three areas of consideration. And that brings me to the third area of consideration, which is communication. And I like communication. For those that have been around me for a while, you know that I'm a communication guy. I love communication. Because for me, communication is life. Communication is what enables me know before you get a job done, before you complete it, is what enables me know that you have the capacity to be able to get it done so that I can begin to generate a level of faith and trust and confidence in you, and then create for you an enabling environment for you to deliver on your assignment. Communication is key. Communication, my friends, is life. The man that has adequate knowledge and has commensurate confidence but cannot communicate will always be at the back. Because how then shall we know what you carry? How will we know? How can we give you an opportunity and a chance? How can we say that you are the man? And communication is not necessarily in what you have said, it is in what you have projected. Woo! That's why I brought communication after confidence. How shall we be able to give you an opportunity if we don't know that you have the capacity to be able to get the job done? How? How? How can I say? How can I have an opening? How can I think of something? And because you have weak communication, zero personal branding. Oh my God, where is Madam Merola? Zero personal branding, and there's nothing about what you have that speaks to what you can do or can do. When I need somebody to get something done, you will never be the person that comes to mind. Tell me something. How many of your friends, I'm not even going to talk of strangers and those in the public or those on social media or those that are out there in the market, how many of your friends think of you first when it comes to something that you can do or something that you believe that you're good at? Because it's okay for you to believe you're good at something, scratch that. It's okay for you to be good at something, but if I don't know you're good at it, when I need that thing, I'm not going to think of you. And if I don't think of you, I'm not going to look for you. And if I don't look for you, I'm not going to engage you. And if I don't engage you, how will you build a footprint and develop an experience trail of you actually deploying what you have the capacity to deploy? So communication grows you. Woo. Communication grows you, gives an opportunity for you to grow. When you communicate right, you are brought to the top of everybody's consciousness. It's called branding. I say to people, look, let's talk about personal branding for a bit. I will come to you actually being able to, deliver, to project what you know in such a way that makes it receivable. But let's just look at personal branding. I've always said that my definition of personal branding is a summation or a culmination of the experiences of the past, the occurrences of now, and the promise of the future. In other words, it's a bringing together of the things that you've been able to do, of what you are doing right now, and what you promise that you will do and will be able to do in the future, so that it provides a level, some measure, some trail of consistency that gives now those on the other side some measure of rest, some confidence that you have the capacity to deliver. Now, anytime anybody believes that you can deliver, they will exchange, they will commit their value, which is in terms of payment, money, or further exposure, they'll commit their value to you so that when you deliver the value at the end of your promise, so there's a value exchange along the line. But it starts first with communication. Did you get that? But your communication does not precede knowledge. Your communication does not precede confidence. You only communicate after you've built a repository of knowledge and you've gathered the sufficient tenacity, resilience, and confidence to be able to deliver this. And then you can now project to the world that I am the guy for this job and that job and that job and any other job that you have because I can do it. Now, what happens in an instance, in a situation whereby you have the ability, but you've not been given an opportunity, then you've got to learn how to make promises. You've got to learn how to tie the little that you're doing right now because there's always an occurrence of now. So there's something that you are doing right now. The problem is that we don't connect the dots between how we cook a meal to or how we organize a birthday party to a project management. We don't connect the dots between how we take care of our wardrobe to the ability to execute an assignment. So we think that the things that we do in our closet are mundane and don't mean, but we don't understand that you need competency. Haven't you seen that there are people that can't lay their beds? Do you not know that there are people that can't do anything but boil water? Don't you know that there are people that cannot drive? Do you know all of what it takes for you to drive a car from A to? Do you know how you calculate the angles? Do you know how you make the turn? Do you know how you decide? Do you know the decisions that you take and your ability to take decisions? Do you know all the information that you process and you don't lose your cool behind the steering wheel? And you think that cannot be applied to the job at the basic level that you'll be going into? Something about the way that you communicate what you do right now positions you and gives you an opportunity to be able to fulfill the promise of doing bigger on the better stage. Hmm. Communication. Communication is life. It's everything. Communication is big. It's big. It's everything. Are you communicating? Are you communicating right? Are you communicating right? I define communication as, you know, my AU's textbook definition of effective communication is the transference of information from one entity to the other in such a way that the entity that receives the information receives it in the way that the sender intended for the receiver to receive it. Can I say that one more time? The transmission, the transference of information from one entity, A and B, so that when A sends it to B receives it in the way that A wanted B to receive it. So if people are not getting full value of what you say that you can, the full picture of what you say that you can, then you understand that you are not communicating right. When you're not communicating right, they can't give you the opportunity for you to perform. When you're not communicating right, your team members can't give you the right kind of support. When you're not communicating right, your superiors can't give you the kind of faith and belief. When you're not communicating right, you weary and you tire out everybody because anytime you send out wrong signals, there will be confusion. Every time there is confusion, it can't be for the good of the project or the assignment that you're on. And every time that you are behind in delivering on that assignment that you're on, you cannot be a seven-star performer. How big do you think communication is? How big? How big do you think communication is? Communication is huge. You got knowledge. You know, you take what you know. You believe in what you know. Because so when you don't believe in what you now do is you go out and seek for more. So each of these three considerations push you to the best version of yourself. It's not just I believe I can do it. No, I believe I have what it takes because I have taken the time, the research, the effort to have what it takes. You need to invest in yourself. High performance, invest in yourself. So the area of knowledge speaks to your self investment. I have friends that I sit down when it's time to talk tax. We can talk tax all night long. I have friends that I'm banking, and when it's time to talk banking policies and how it affects the microeconomy and the macroeconomy and what we are doing for financial inclusion, we can talk about it all year long. I have friends. I got a special friend that is into hair. And if they were to talk to you and they were to sit down and talk to you about hair, you'd be like, wow, what can you talk to me about? If I was to have a conversation with you, in fact, you know what? I dare you. Send me a DM. Let me bring you up on the connect. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, send me a DM. I'll bring you up on the connect. Let's talk. 1 hour. Can you talk about what it is that you are supposedly that you wish to be known for? Can you talk about it? How well do you know? Because that is what gives you the confidence to push for more. That's what gives you the confidence. And every opportunity that you get further deepens your reputation. Little wonder Outliers tells us that it takes about 10 years of practice for you to become an icon in your area of field. Now, if it takes 10 years of practice, that means it takes 10 years of utilizing opportunities. 10 years of utilizing opportunities for you to become an icon in what it is that you're called to do. So my question is, uh, how many opportunities are you utilizing? Oh, wait. You're not utilizing much. Why? Because you're not being given opportunities. Why are you not being given opportunities? Wait. Hold on. You're not being given opportunities because they don't know that you can deliver on those opportunities. Why are you not delivering on those opportunities? Wait. Hold on. I get it. You are not delivering on those opportunities because you are not sure that you can deliver on those opportunities because you haven't taken the time to seek and get the right kind of information that will help you position you to be able to deliver on those opportunities. And yet we're in a realm, in an era where we don't only seize opportunities, we maximize opportunities. 7 star performer. 7 star performer. Would you take it upon yourself today, friends, Connect family? Would you take it upon yourself today to think critically about the 3 areas of consideration that I've brought to you, that have served you this Sunday evening? 3 areas of consideration that I've brought to your attention this Sunday evening: knowledge, confidence, and communication. And begin to think big about them. I'm interested in seeing you grow in your area. I mean, there are protocols and models to how you can increase your knowledge in certain areas. I've been teaching it and coaching people on confidence for years. I can teach you about communication. Seek help if you need to. Some of you already have it within you. Work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Your being small doesn't serve anybody. Talk less of serve the world. Gifted, talented, yet on the back, that ought not to be your story. You cannot be affiliated with me, be a part of the Connect family, be someone that is connected to somebody that I know, and then you have all that gifting, all that information, and then you're not tapping into the information that you have. You've not built yourself up. The Bible says, study to show yourself approved. You've not done all of that. You've got to do that. You've got to build yourself up in that area. Build capacity. I can't say it enough. Build capacity in that area. And when you've done that, then you qualify to have an assured belief, a self-persuasion that what you have can take you across. That's confidence. You've done. Then you can begin to make positive declarations to yourself. You can begin to speak. Don't you know that the faith that you have in God is not just hinged because he says you have faith in him. It's hinged because once has he spoken, twice have you heard. You've heard and seen the things that he has done. It is because of your unwavering belief in his performance. That's why you have faith. Because the God that did it yesterday, he will not leave me. Because of the integrity of his word, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Because he said that, have I not said it? Would I not do it? Because of that, you have faith in him. In the same way, how much faith do you want me to have in you as regards your assignments? How much faith do you want me to have? How much faith do you want me to have? And it starts from the little. You don't have to overwhelm yourself. For some of you need to pick up that notepad and learn to write again. Learn to write again. Learn to journalize. Learn to diatrize. Learn to put your thoughts on paper. Learn to note down points. For some of you, you need to just keep taking considerations. Keep taking things. Start paying more attention to things. Start looking around you. Don't just walk in that space that you are. Walk and think about it. Brood upon it. Think about it. Give thoughts to it. Consider. Before there's anything, there's a consideration. In the beginning, Genesis 1, the earth was without form, and God considered. God created everything, and then on the last day, he looked, he considered. Begin to consider the things around you. Consider your office, consider your assignment, consider your life. How do I get better? Consider. Because the consideration, remember, I will always say this, Matthew 7:7, ask, seek, and knock. Your consideration involves your asking and your seeking. When you consider, you will ask questions of yourself. Where am I? Where do I want to get to? How do I connect between where I am to where I want to get to? Who am I? Which is what now qualifies me to deploy the strategy I think is right for where I am to where I want to get to. Because your identity is synonymous, is tied to your assignments. And so if you don't understand who you are in the scheme of things, then how then can you even know what is best for you to use? You'll simply be going to a gunfight with a water pistol. You'll be going to a gunfight with a water pistol. And so when you're taking all these things into consideration, then you begin to seek for the answers to the questions that they ask. So when you're asking questions, you don't have time to dilly-dally. You have to say, do I have what it takes? What will it take for me to get what it takes? Where will I find what it takes? Who do I need to connect with? And so you begin to do the things that you do that will help you build capacity. That's the seeking. You seek for answers to the questions that you've asked. And then that now prepares you, gives you the confidence to be able to stand at the door and the windows of opportunity. And then you knock, you communicate to them that you are ready, and then you want to go inside. That's communication. A-S-K, ask, seek, and knock. And so when you knock, what you're doing is communicating everything that you have behind you. So you are like an iceberg. No matter how wild they see you, let it be the least of who you are. I say to people that everything that you see, everything that you hear, and everything that you feel concerning me, let it be the least of who I am. Be so deep, be so assuaged, be so rooted in what you know concerning what you're doing so much that there's always a feeling that there's more. Whenever people feel that there's more, they will pay more to access the more. They will do more to get the more. But when I feel this is all that you have to offer, I will just look at you and say, well, you've come, there's nothing more you have to offer. There's nothing more. In fact, you know what? Because there's nothing more you have to offer, take half of what it is that you're even valued at. So that's something else. I won't go into that right now, but trust me, as we go through this series on performance, every Sunday evening, 7 o'clock, I must apologize that my guest couldn't join me. He was having some technical issues and monitoring stuff. My guest couldn't join me, but hey, wasn't I guest enough for you today? Well, I mean, I had to stand in for him. All right, so I was guest enough for you today. So we'll probably have Usain James join us next Sunday. We'll ensure that he's ready to come into the studio and function and perform at the level that we need him to. So probably we'll have that next Sunday or sometime else in the series. But this is just really what I just came to share with you this Sunday evening, and I feel like it was meant to be like this. I feel like someone out there and someone that will watch the replay in the course of the week was meant to hear this. I feel like this was meant to happen. So please send me comments, send me stuff, send all the emojis. Let me know that you're there. Let me know that you're there. We've done 1 hour. We've done 1 hour, and I'm going to be shutting down pretty soon. It's good to be back again. Like I said, for those of us that didn't join us in time, I've been off live. The connect has been running, but we've been doing throwback series whereby we have yes, I'm back. Forgive me, we had a bit of a glitch. A phone call came in, and sometimes when these phone calls come in, especially when you're not using the Wi-Fi, it will toss you off. So, like I tell most people, please, you know I'm on air Sunday evenings at 7 o'clock. That's not the time to call. And for those that see me on air and they're like, hey, let me talk to you while it's on air. No, it doesn't work that way. All right, so thank you to everybody that joined us today. I think it was an amazing episode. I was really glad to have been able to share from my heart with you. Three areas of consideration that you have to look at when you're considering performance and how to improve in your performance. I said that you should look at knowledge and everything that's pertaining to knowledge. You should look at consider deeply the concept of the structure of confidence, which speaks to your self persuasion, your self understanding, which is birthed from self awareness, emotional mastery, your self mastery, which I coined the journey to mastery, and look at all of that in the totality. And I said that the cap of it all is that you must be able to communicate that confidence. You must be able to communicate the knowledge and the capacity that you've gained from the knowledge that you've built to the audience that will receive it and will reward you for what you've done and will enable you and give you the opportunity to be able to deploy, will give you the prerequisite support that will help you be able to go along your assignment and deliver massively on your assignment. So I talked about all of that over the course of the last 1 hour. Again, I must apologize that our scheduled guest for today, Mr. Who said James couldn't join us, some technical issue from his end. We're hoping to be able to bring him back sometime next week, possibly. If we can have that, we'll have it next week. We'll see how to fit him into the schedule in the rest of the month. We will have the performance series run through the entirety of September, even onto the last day of September. And it's going to be an amazing time. It is an amazing time. I trust that you had a great time in this session. Please share with me, send me messages, share with me what you gained from here. Share with me what your thoughts. Like I said, I really would that will join me to share their thoughts on this. I really want to know what you think about performance, what your own experiences have been, if you've had to deal with lethargy or poor performance at a certain stage, what you did to be able to improve your performance. And let's find how we can catalog all of that, which will now serve as a manual or a template for others that don't have that kind of experience or exposure to be able to learn from, glean from, and be able to run with. All right. So, hey, folks, it's always great to share with you, great to be with you. I look forward to seeing you next Sunday, same time, 7 p.m. And till we see you again, it's always a pleasure to connect. My name is Anek Anusora. My friends call me AU, and I look forward to connecting with you next Sunday. Good night, everyone, and God bless. Take care now and keep walking the pathway of champions. Good night.